Hey, this is Sherry, man. I hadn't made a video in quite some time, so I thought I'd make one of this build that I'm on. Um, it wants to, I call it a base cannon box because right there you can see part of the cannon that I'm assembling. That's about halfway through, so I have to, I'm going to make that as long as this box here, which is about 25 inches long. So that's how long the base cannon will be. That holds a 15, and then you have two 10s ported here, and he wanted the 15 to be sealed. And I'll have to break into this chamber here, and I have a piece made for that right over here. So you can see this is the back plate for that box. So when the back of the box comes to a rest at the very back wall of the box, I'll be able to get this chamber connected to, I'll have a middle chamber in here that'll finish out the 3.1 cubic feet needed for the 15 inch. Here you can see a slightly smaller ring, and I need to make two more of these so it can be recessed down in here. And then you'll notice on one of these rings, it's kind of interesting. I have this foot made onto it because the foot section sits right in this valley, just like this. You can see the fit. There's part of the foot. So there'll be a valley, and the sub will sit back off about right here. And I'm getting ready to start cutting another sheet of the base cannon. You can see this is just scrap left over in the middle, but you can see all the holes that I got out of one sheet of MDF. So the second sheet of MDF will complete the base cannon. Okay, I'm showing you the back of the box to show you how these ports work. I needed 1.5 cubes for the two 10s at a 23-inch long port. I had way more than that, so you can see I'm killing off, I'm sectioning off the box and killing off dead space. One of the ways I did that was I raised the floor, and I'm actually going to cut some holes in the bottom of this and let this chamber spread out into these two sides to get the 3.1 I need for the sealed 18. The ports are also killed off again right here, as you can see with this wall. So that lets the air from this chamber come up here before it goes out of the port. If it would have came back further, this would have acted like another port, and that would have linked in my port, and he wanted 35 hertz for everything, for the sealed and the ported. So I've just been sectioning it off, getting it dialed in exactly where I need it to be. This little area here that I've just made makes about 0.18, and when I add that to the 0.147 down here, you know, I'm getting close to about 1.6. And then when you displace the sub, I'll be right back at 1.5 again. Okay, here we're looking at probably about 75% completed on the box. In the other video, I stated it was 18. It's actually a 15. I'm cutting the rest of the rings to make the cannon for the 15. You can see over here, I've just added 2 more rings. Best not to try to glue these all at once. You'll end up with a staggered stack. Better to just put them on a few at a time, maybe three at most at a time, so that you can keep your rings straight and keep the sanding down later. Here you can see I've added, these are all the rest of the rings that I just got through cutting out on the CNC. I needed 9 more rings to make a 19-inch base cannon. this is the back of the base. This is where the back of the base cannon slides up to, and you can see I've already got it taped out to keep the paint off of it so that I get a good seal with the glue. Down in here you can see I'll be adding a top across here, but down in here you can see the other well that goes into the center middle chamber, which is right here, right through here is where that well leads into. And then I have two other little small pockets that go off underneath these two raised floors to get the rest of the volume that I need. This is a look at the base cannon, all sanded up. I wanted to show you the bottom of it. You can see how it sets, how it won't roll away. And that's because two of the rings have legs attached to the end of them, and they're perfectly angled to fit inside the tunnel. You can see I got the tunnel all taped up because I don't want any paint to get on the back of this, so I can make a good seal when I attach the other part, because the cannon part will be red and the rest of it's going to be black. You can see where I've pre-painted the inside holes and the top of the ports, because when you're spraying up, sometimes the shadows, you can miss a spot. So I always pre-paint. Okay, so I want to show you the completed base cannon box. I was just getting through putting these hoses on here. They're just for looks. They kind of look like they're feeding the ports right there, but the ports are actually connected to the two tins. The 15 is just in a sealed chamber. In an earlier video I called it an 18, so I need to correct myself. It is a UM 1522 Dayton Audio. So that's in a 3.1 sealed enclosure in the middle, and the two JLW7s down here are at 1.5 cubic feet ported to 35 hertz. Everything's ported, and the sealed is ported is 35 hertz sealed, and we got 35 hertz ported. I was going to show you the ideas that we were playing around with. I was playing around with at first. It just started with an idea. This is what I had laying around the shop, just a piece of gray flexible hose. That's where we started to get the idea. Then we discussed maybe putting LEDs in them, but since it was done, the idea came to me after construction. I was going to have to do quite a bit of routing wires everywhere, and I didn't know if that was going to be a good idea at this point. So we finally just settled on just the straight tubes. I tried conduit. I showed you the hose, and so I decided to go down to the home store. I knew they sold this braided hose here, and the braided hose gives it a metal look inside. And then also I found this red hose, which is just nothing but airline hose. And, it fits perfectly. It fit perfectly inside the other hose, and it gives you that red background that matches the red here. So it doesn't show up well in the camera, but it looks good on the whole entire box. All this can be removed if it needs to be, very, very easily, with minimal damage to the box, because all you'll have is just 4 little holes here, and they would be really easy to seal. And then you got another little hole right here, which is nothing more than a screw sticking out. Show it to you. There it is. Nothing more than a screw sticking out with the hose just over the top of it like that. So very simple. And stay tuned for more. I'm going to get some more videos posted. I'm in the new shop. I've been showing parts of it. I'm not quite through with it yet, but I'm getting there. And we moved. I moved the shop, and I sold my other house, so we moved back in November. So that's why I hadn't posted any videos in a while. So I'll try to get you some more videos posted up. I've got plenty in the camera from 10 months of builds to get all fixed up for YouTube, and I'll try to get them on there for you guys to see. Thanks for subscribing to Cherryman Customs.